Coming from the TRUSPACE, we ain't entertaining neighbors. I don't give a fuck what you say. Found the universal coochie, planting seeds and birds fruit. Now I'm really looking juicy. Welcome to the TRUSPACE. Yeah, bitch, welcome to the TRUSPACE. Welcome to the TRUSPACE. Yeah, bitch, welcome to the TRUSPACE.
Alright, let's get in on Libra. See what's going on this Scorpio season for Libras. What new desire will Libras encounter? What are they going to try to transmute and give death to? What may be revealed that has previously been hidden? The Knight of Wands. Get the Knight of Wands. Okay, so with Libra, I swear, who got the Knight of Wands before? I saw with Gemini's was an air sign. But anyways, with the Knight of Wands, maybe even represent a fire sign in your life, someone who is on a mission or who has set themselves on a mission, especially coming off of Libra season, and all of that, all of those planets we've been going through, especially having Mars and Libra throughout that transit, it kind of created this type of frustration because you kind of wanted to get things started, but it relied on other people. And with Mars going through Libra and the Mercury retrograde going through Libra too, it's kind of like throwing that Librarian energy all out of whack or putting it in uncomfortable circumstances. Mercury's does well in Libra, but in the retrograde it makes you take a step back and be more retrospective. But since Mars was traveling through there, it created all of this friction and agitation because you wanted to get things done, but maybe it felt even too selfish. And then you had to deal with those inner desires. You wanted to do something for yourself, but because you are in your nature or because you have to wait and placate on everybody, it created this type of internal frustration if you weren't planting the right seeds and being in your natural power, Libra, being able to bring harmony and balance into situations. But it takes more than just good words. It takes more than just good presentation for things to be, for real balance to be established. Sometimes you have to get hard. Sometimes you have to banish some things and get rid of some things and clean an area. Sometimes you have to be strict and not fluffy and direct and harsh to really get the desired balance, for you to even help people get into the energy that they need to be in. So no, it's not always, you have to be kind. No, it's not always you have to find a nice way to present things. Sometimes how it is the best way it needs to be. And maybe there's a fire sign in your life who is showing you that, or you are on a mission to kind of find that self-starting desire within you. Scorpio season's kind of putting you on a mission to have that deep desire, especially with Libras, just air signs in general. It's hard for you guys to have that internal motivation because it's so dealt with communication, and because you would be so in the mind, it would be hard for you to get it going, or other people coming into your life, especially fire signs, are going to be that influence to get things going in your life, or and to make forcefully, or to your benefit and stuff like that, depending on what type of polar shift that you're on. But you being on a mission to have your own desire, there is something that you want, to prove. There's something that you want to bring balance to. There's a desire that you have, an image or a feeling that you want to stand in, but you are not quite there yet. It's not that you're not quite there yet, but you are on this mission, this Scorpio season, and that's what you're going to have to transmute, and you're going to have to give death to the waiting aspect. You're gonna have to give death to the indecision energy, and you're going to have to go with in that mission, even if that it's just an image and there's no practicality, even if it looks a little dangerous, even if it looks like it's not going to bring balance outright. You know deep inside that even after you storm and after you go through that fire, you know that you'll find that balance that you crave, or that you will actually, and you'll find deeper aspects within yourself too. You'll find what your real desires are when you aren't afraid of going through those feelings, when you aren't afraid of jumping into those experiences and diving into it. So that's going to be real focus, and that's what you're going to have to transmute and give death to, that indecision, and you're waiting. Waiting on what other people are going to say, or how they're going to react, or the actions that they're going to do for you to make your first move. That's like, as a boxing fighter, that's the type of person who's waiting to do a counter. They call Libra the mirror, but not necessarily taking the initiative and putting the pressure on to get things to get a person to move. Your whole fighting style depends on somebody else. But while there are advantages to that, it would also be your downfall. So set off on that mission. Go make that decision. You know what you need to bring balance, or what you feel you balance needs to be brought to. You know which areas are impure or that need to be let go of, but you need to get the courage for that, or you need to start building up the courage for that. Put yourself in a position where you are building and working up to get to the point where you can maintain that internal fire for yourself, or where you can use your own imagination and um, yeah, and really get things going, or make things real, and be a real self starter for yourself. Be able to feel something, or want something, and able to go and get it, and hold on to that feeling, and choose what states of beings that you want to be into, instead of being so vulnerable and placating to everybody. Now you're starting to use your Librarian energy to your benefit. Now you're starting to understand the behind the scenes of what is going on within your relationships, and how those things are playing out, or how it's affecting you on a subconscious level, or how you genuinely feel about that, and how that relates to you and your true core self, whether you're being authentic. So to really find that authenticity, you're going to have to go onto this journey. So when those opportunities come and present themselves, and it's something that's a little scary, that's a little risky, that's the thing that you really need to jump into. You being brave, you saying what you want, because that's the only way that's going to, these are the things you're going to have to tangle with this coming Scorpio season. Let's see what Shadow dealing with. What shadow is influencing Libra that might prevent them from embodying the energy of the light? What may be unconscious, an unconscious archetype or influence that is controlling the decision-making process? Jesus Christ. Page of Wands. This is interesting. Maybe it's through past attempts, or you not being where you want to be. You not being in the specific position that you want to be, or you being fresh onto things, or you being potential. You know that there is potential in the within that area, but maybe it was over, the potential was over exalted, and you never really trying to step into it, or maybe the potential and expectations, because at the Page of Wands it can also be somebody else's influence, another fire sign, or somebody embodying this energy who has potential. Maybe they're natural at the thing that you want to get started. Maybe that they just go and get things started, and that's kind of distracting you from you getting things started, or you're allowing them to direct your and draw an inspiration for them instead of you going on the mission to go and conquer that and get that for yourself. And that's a problem that Libras generally find themselves into, relying on their relationships for those motivational aspects. And then with the Page of Wands, if it's not someone else going on, and this is more internal, then maybe it's yeah, holding on to naivety, not holding on to a past position, or a past state of being, or a past feeling when you had dipped your toes into it a little bit, and you managed to get to that level, but instead of um, pushing things and going to the next level, you kind of get comfortable within those waters. And that's definitely what's going to hold you back, that comfortability, or because you were able to get to this level, not wanting to expand out further. But you're going to have to go and make that trek out further. That's what Scorpio is trying to, season is going to push you towards, for you to be your own self-starter, for you to go on your mission to be on that state of being, and be able to utilize your imagination. But yeah, and then let's see what the Oracle has to say for Gemini. What does the Oracle have to say for Gemini? Advice from the Moon on how to handle this energy for Scorpio season. Interesting. Meditate and contemplate. So I guess seeing where the energy is, or for to be that self-starter, or to maintain that internal fire, or for you to go on that mission. It's going to take you moving slow, or thoroughly being in the experience, or thoroughly allowing yourself to go back and reassess, and bring awareness to things. It's the experience that is going to strengthen you, but the meditation is going to help you organize that in your mind, or at least contemplating about the your desires. That's how you get it going. This is your thoughts. Now you start to control your air, because you're always utilizing your air outside and pushing out your thoughts and ideas and stuff like that. But just like with breathing, when you're putting it, directing that inside, now your internal fire is catching some draft, so now it's able to grow and grow and grow. And then that's why air and fire, that dynamic, that's why they sextile, because they help each other out, because fire is going to give the inspiration for the air to get the ideas from, and to communicate about, and to logically analyze. Fire is going to be the feeling that the air signs gets to categorize and describe. And that's the dynamic that plays out with them. So that meditating and contemplating on that is going to allow you to truly see the energy that you are dealing with, my Libras. Okay, Scorpios, on your solar return, what energy are you going through this Scorpio season? How are all my Scorpios, when everybody's feeling the way that y'all feel? Everybody's feel like somebody's looking behind their back now. Um, Everybody feels like somebody's trying to probe their shit, or that niggas is talking about them behind their back and shit like that. Everybody's on that vibe, thinking about fucking death and transforming things and situations that they want to get out of, people that they want to fuck, and all of that type of shit. All of that Scorpio shit. They on that vibe now. Fucking No Nut November, um, happens in fucking Scorpio season, doesn't it? And Scorpio ruling the genitalia, talking about that's actually having sex in the deeper connection. And it's funny. So they're talking about transmuting their sexual energy during Scorpio season. That's crazy. And astrology is not real, right? That's crazy. But yeah, Scorpios. What energy are y'all in this Scorpio season? What new desires are you guys going to have? What are you going to give death to? What energy are you going to try and transmute? Deeply connect to? The Hanged Man. Neptune. It's crazy because we have that trine, that Neptune trine in Pisces. So this is going to be a real intuitive sign for Scorpios, especially being a Scorpio, already having those intuitive aspects into the emotional world and how energy moves, with everybody being within this sphere, plus the energy of Pisces amplifying our emotional connection to one another. It's going to be a highly intuitive time where you're going to really start seeing some shit. And whereas all the other signs may start actually seeing some shit, or get privy to some information that they're privy to some information that they might not have known, you're actually going to be seeing shit and feeling shit, and it's going to be like an intuitive sense of knowing, and starting tapping into those and start peeling behind those type of behind the scene things, whereas it's an internal sense of knowing of a situation that you have, where it that intuition and that feeling act turns out to be true, and it's that type of intuitiveness, where you already kind of know, seeing through walls type shit, and that's what I'm picking off of the Scorpio season. So it's allowing yourself to hone into that. But now, if you are closed off because you feel vulnerable, and you're not really getting in touch with the deepest aspects of yourself, and being open with the deepest pure aspect of yourself, so that you can navigate through these collective realms of emotion that is around, because that's what you're doing on that level. You're moving through influence fluids, bodies of water, our auras intermingling and interacting with each other and shit like that. Our emotional and mental world exists on that level, and we are definitely intermingling with these stuff with each other on that line. But if you are feeling emotionally insecure, then you're not going to be able to travel. Then you're not going to be able to tap into this psychic energy to its full potential, because you are holding back the energy that needs to be transmuted. That there is something that is preventing you from wholeheartedly connecting, or something that is preventing you from feeling emotionally secure. So you got to transmute that shit. You got to give death to that shit. And then you will see this psychic boost, this intuitive boost, where you learn to trust. That's a huge problem for Scorpio, or a lump that they have to get over, trust. And that's where the true psychic abilities and intuition really starts to come, when you don't need when your emotional state of being is not dependent on other things, or where it's not as flimsy, you're stable in your emotional state of being, or at least in your emotions and how you feel. You know how you feel and how you want to feel, and how things are interacting, what you don't want and what you do want, so your desires. Really coming into knowledge of that and honoring them, honoring those pure desires of yourself, and being honest and not having shame with the desires that you have is really going to open up your psychic portal. And so through meditation, through you really giving credence to your spirituality, you doing breath work, you just really taking note and being receptive and trying to notice the subtle energies around you, and just bringing awareness to things and utilizing your imagination, you're going to find the most manifestations and power coming to you this Scorpio season when you embody that energy. Neptune in Pisces, being at home in Pisces is given that energy. It's helping us, and because with Scorpio, there's a lot we need to give death to. Not even just with Scorpios, but now that with the sun, there is a lot that needs to fucking die. There's a lot of toxicity that needs to die, and that's going to be represented. If you contain a lot of that toxicity, it's going to happen to you internally, and that's where disease comes from, and all of that type of shit. But yeah. Um, give credence to those or to spirituality, into your spiritual natures, and to the subtle energies that are going on around you. That old grandma wisdom. um Neptune is kicking that old grandma wisdom right now, so you better peep it. You better peep it, because grandma may not always, or it's not that grandma won't always be around. Well, that is what it is. But in terms of Neptune, but Neptune ain't always gonna be in Pisces, or grandma's not always gonna want to talk to you. Grandma's not always gonna be in her bag. You may get senile grandma. So with Scorpio season, when grandma's a little bit more stable, you best start talking to her. You best get some of that wisdom now. So yeah, that's with the light. Let's see what's going on with the shadow. What are you being influenced by behind the scenes? What may be preventing you from embodying the light archetype? That is unseen. What energy is unseen that may be blocking you? Interesting. The Four of Cups. Comfortability. Diving into that collective realm is definitely, you experience a lot. Or once you start becoming aware, just like what I was saying with Scorpio, how there's a lot of fucking energy shit that we need to transmute. Imagine. That's why there's levels to this shit. Because there's a lot to be aware of. And there's a lot of dark, evil, demented, creepy, demonic energy that exists within this earth, that is, we are being hit by constantly 24/7 forever. And if we were to be aware of the fullness of that at our current level, um you would fucking implode and you would go insane. And this is represented in a whole lot of things, when people have bad trips, and they're not even scratching the surface of the potential that exists within us. That's like a little jolt in time. But to peep how with those expanded points of awareness, how deep those steeps can go. That's how it is within that realm. Or if you don't know how to be secure in your mentality and in your emotion, when you open yourself, or when you dive into that arena of energy and influences, you will lose yourself, and you won't know who's you and what's what, and you'll not know how to protect yourself from things, and not how to be open to things that are going to help you, and just be all flunkety flunked out. So it's comfortability that you're holding on to, and the fear. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's dangerous out there on those esoteric streets. But you gotta take out your esoteric training wheels and learn how to ride that shit, especially with this Scorpio season. You're going to have um all the help and boost to do that. That's why you have to give credence to your spirituality and really take this serious, because that's how you build that strength. And when you are putting in that work, and when you are really being reflective, when you are really noticing your emotions, and you're writing them down and stepping into that type of energy, doing the breath work, doing the self-care, being meditating, being aware of the energy that is around you, and all of that Neptune shit. When you allow yourself to be intuitive, when you allow your imagination to take a front seat, you are going to really um, find that you're satisfying those desires that you have. You're finding that you are transmuting the energy that needs to be transmuted. And the feeling of comfortability is only going to hold you back from doing that. The feeling of you only wanting what is familiar and what is, within arm's reach, is really going to hold you back, or wanting to feel the same things again. While with the Four of Cups and the Rider White fucking deck, it's literally the picture of a floating hand, with the nigga looking at three cups and then a floating hand, being like, "Hey nigga, I have a new thing for you to feel. I have this good shit, this good juice in this cup over here." And this nigga's like, um, he just doesn't even notice the new juice floating behind him. He's looking at the three other juices that he wants, or that he already has, and he ain't drinking none of that shit. That type of energy, where you're so fixated on what you have already previously had, and what you already known, that you're not allowing yourself to really dive into that arena and seeing what you got. But Scorpio, really take off, dust off your esoteric boots and get walking. You're really being called to um be more trusting and intuitive within your life. And that's the new desire that you're going to be hit with. And the things that prevent you from stepping in that light is what you're going to have to transmute and give death to. So, yeah, that's what the Oracle is saying for Scorpio. You're very close to achieving your goal, Scorpio. So I'm trying to tell you, like, people or you don't realize that you are already secure, that you are. It's crazy because you use that for stubbornness. I'm a Scorpio myself, so I know that energy, and my girlfriend's a Scorpio stellium too. So you best believe I know that energy. It's really um, stubbornness. The way you feel doesn't change. It never really does. When you, because of the feeling of vulnerability, when you start putting it up onto the social stage, or once you start bringing it out to the surface from the depths from where it came, it feels raw, and it doesn't feel familiar. So that's why you start doubting yourself. But when within that depths, when other niggas come there ain't no dragging your ass out of there. It's like stone hard. That shit's real. So stop pretending like it ain't, or like you aren't secure already, or that you don't already know how you feel, that you don't already think about these things all the time, that you aren't have that emotional endurance. Being a Scorpio, you can really go through everything. So I don't know why would definitely have that energy or start um, being vulnerable or acting like you are open, or that you are under attack, or that they're that you don't want to let people in, or that you get into that defensive mode to what you have within your core, what you have within your depths. You have to have trust within it, and trust with the relationships that you have, and not forcing it, but allow the trust to go into the areas where it's deserved, and if it's not, it's for the birds, for the birds. Yeah, so that's fucking Scorpio. Let's see what's going on with Sag. What is Sag going through this Scorpio season? What new desire is Sag going to have? What energy are they going to be transmuting and transforming? What are they getting deep and passionate about? What do they have to give death to? The Six of Serpents. Six of Serpents. So that's like the Six of Pentacles. Fucking obviously. But yeah, that's like Moon and Taurus energy. So with Sag, sounds like giving is really not even giving, but really going to work, and it's for how do I explain Six of Pentacles? Um, it's a push for security, for stability, um, but not necessarily personal stability. And yes, it does have to do with flaunting and flossing. You know, there may be some a desire for you to really achieve, or to live up to the things that you talk about, or really bring things, the things that you the visions that you have into physicality, but not only for you, but for those around you, and to be able to support people, um to be a provider, is a new desire that really may start coming up for you, and you're starting to see um the the behind the scene aspects to what's going on with value, or your emotional attachments, and how those equate to value. You're starting to understand value in its truest sense. But this can make you definitely overwork. So this may put you, since as Sagittarius, always going through experiences to build knowledge and wisdom off of. This can definitely be a situation where you are constantly working, um, or where that you not necessarily constantly working, or something that is emotionally really demanding you, something that is constantly working, that you have to put your whole emotion into. It's calling for your whole emotion to get into that, kind of fall into that light, or to allow, really give yourself into those emotions, or into your work, and into what you're doing with your hands, and what you're trying to produce, the value and the stability that you're trying to achieve into your life. This is where you should be directing your emotions coming this Scorpio season. This is where you want to know what you feel within this area, and that's what you need to be transmuting, and giving death to. Especially with Sagittarius energy, niggas don't necessarily want to it ain't about necessarily making things practical. It's about experience, or it's about building knowledge and wisdom off of it. It's about seeing things and going through it, and it's about the meaning and the purpose of things that has happened. So while you're going through so it's hard to see the little details that actually build the structure for the experience to actually happen, and hard to see the little values, the smaller pictures, the smaller values, because we're dealing with Taurus energy with the card, the six of swords, I mean six of serpents, and then Sagittarius being ruled by Jupiter, and then Taurus being ruled by Venus. We have the two benefics, but you see how they differ, where Jupiter is very big picture aspect, and that's where Sagittarius is comfortable, looking at things on a big picture aspect, looking at it, having a broad perspective of things, while Taurus energy is very hands on. It's very, is this strong? Is this stable? Really consistent too, and push. So there's a real call for work, and for emotional work, and for you to really put your emotions into work right now, and for you to really put your emotions into obtaining stability, because that is the foundation of what is building your experience, and that is the foundation that is going to allow you to have that broad perspective, for you to see things in a broader scope. You need a steady ground for you to be able to shoot that arrow, Sagittarius. So really give credence to that, and put your emotions into it. And focus on how you feel about working, and where your values are, and why you value those things, and who influences that within your life, and who benefits to that, you know who would end up taking advantage of your kindness, and where it's not worth the work, or it's not holding up your self-worth, um, seeing the leeches in your life, that is per these are the things that is coming up, the things that are taking you away from understanding your own self-value, the things that are taking you away from building the foundation that you need for the big talk that you have, the big ideas that you have, for those to actually come into fruition. um, Bringing light to a lot of these areas, and that's what you're going to be giving depth to. What's preventing you from fully putting your emotion into your work, hands on, being able to narrow down your focus into what's going on, so that you can better understand the bigger picture. That's what Scorpio season is going to be hitting you with, and what your energy you're going to be trying to transmute. Let's see what the shadow's saying. See what the shadow's saying for Sag. What subconscious influence may be preventing Sag from bringing out the full energy of the light? What they might be unaware of. Ten of Swords. That's interesting. Ten of Swords. It could be a Gemini within your life, or just Gemini aspects within itself. And it's funny because we have an eclipse coming up that's teetering on Sagittarius Gemini. I think I was saying that in the Gemini one. But yeah, coming around your spot, having that Gemini Sagittarius eclipse. So within this Scorpio season, it very may be that Gemini energy that distracts you from really putting your work into things. The rhetoric, people talking, or communication, or even friendships, and social um obligations, people that you have to talk to, communications that have to be had, those type of things may be holding you back from really getting physical with things, from you really getting diving deep into your work so that you can provide for the people that is around you. And quick distractions, all that Gemini energy, or it may even be a Gemini where they are talking about surface level things, or that they are all over the place too, and it's kind of taking you away from that really pinpointing in on something. So really be careful of that energy where it's trying to make you to multitask. You may feel that you can tackle on multiple things at once. No, focus on the one thing and get it done to a T, and perfect, before you start tackling on these all these other things and start opening all of these other tabs. That energy is really going to be a detriment to you into the Scorpio season. And you're not going to end up transmuting the energy that you need to be transmuting. And the eclipse energy may be drawing you into that aspect. But stay physical, or staying putting in the work and understanding value in your life, and establishing some type of stability, some type of ground for you to stand on. And let's see what the moon has advice the moon has to say for Sagittarius. What do the moon gotta say? The moon oracle. Shiej. A time to give rather than take. Time to give rather than take. So you're building the ground and the foundation for your experiences, for you to go and gain knowledge, wisdom, and meaning. For you to have purpose, you have to have ground and stable footing for you to go on. You have to have tools for you to use to pave ways and stuff like that. And have a strong sense of self-worth, and know the amount of energy that you can output. Know your strengths and weaknesses and shit like that. That's what the moon's telling you. With Sagittarius. All right, let's see what's popping with Capricorn. What's popping with Capricorn this Scorpio season? What are new desires y'all may be coming into? What energy you're going to be trying to be transmuting? And what will you be trying to give death to? Ten of Swords. That's interesting with Capricorn. That's very interesting. Ten of Swords. So there's a lot of, so it's really an information war that's going on, or you're figuring out how to communicate, and that's going to be a huge topic, or a huge theme for you coming this Scorpio season. Communication. It's interesting because even the Scorpio season, we even right now, coming up right now, we have a square with Mercury. Mercury in Libra, but it's Mercury, which is the ruler of Gemini, um, coming into a square with Pluto in Capricorn. So Capricorn has already been going through some transformative energy with Pluto coming through here. It's just fucking tearing things up because you're trying to build plans with that business like mindset, but society around you is constantly changing, and is the structure, the blueprint of how to obtain stability is completely transformed. Has taken a new shape and form. So it's definitely disgruntled, where that area is more volatile for things to fall out of play. So it's kind of hard where you have to pay like the patience game, or it makes you move slower. You know, it's slower, more high risk type moves, and that's what it feels like with that aspect. But with especially with the retrograde that was going on, um squaring you guys, with Mercury retrograde, communication may have really have been lacking, and with the lack of communication, it's preventing you from actually building the foundations that you actually needed, and for you to be able to be as efficient as you had wanted to, for you to have the type of control over your day and life that you had wanted to. Maybe your schedule had gotten away for you, and that could have been prevented through communication. Things could have ran more efficiently, and that could have been prevented through a little bit more communication. um yeah, so definitely not stepping into that, and because this is Scorpio season, and this is what we're trying to give death to, and how you feel and things, because Pluto's transiting through here, and we're in Scorpio season, Pluto's being heightened, that energy. So what is really preventing you from feeling authentic, from you feeling within your power, from having integrity with your actions, and the reality that you create with your for yourself, you going to have to start communicating shit, whether it's cussing niggas off, telling niggas what it is. That's the energy that you really need to get into. With Pluto being here, it's too late for that other shit. It's too late for the other conjecture. That was all Pluto in Sagittarius that Capricorn had. Whether you were born after or not, it doesn't fucking matter. It's time to go now. And Pluto doesn't wait. Pluto will take shit away, destroy shit for you if you're really holding on to that type of energy. So don't be in that type of energy. Really transmute the things that are preventing you from standing in your authenticity, and get rid of them, and give death to these things. And it's going to be through communication, it's going to be through letting things known, it's going to be through you saying things that making things known, making the facts known, and out there, you not being afraid to leave things said and to see how it works. You saying things, and being light in how you say things, not necessarily being so um, serious, or taking everything so serious, even though Pluto's there and it's making shit definitely serious. But the best way to go about that energy is to be light, and then, well, especially with the Ten of Swords, because like with the Ten of, you can already see the blood on the tips and shit like that. And then the Rider White one, this is with a nigga who's all stabbed in the back and shit like that. Because of all of the thoughts, because of the overwhelmingness of the thoughts and the communications, and stuff like that. Um, but this is being overwhelmed by thoughts, bombarded by communications and thoughts. But the type of things that you would have around you within your circumference, the type of things you would be communicating about and be thinking about, would be way more towards your goal, and would be way more if you really paid credence to um, your integrity and what you are doing, and the people that you keep around that are preventing you from standing in your authenticity, and being integrity, being who you say you are, and really living up to that public name that you have, and making that known. People are not going to know who you are unless you say it. And it's about time you do say it, because you've been putting in that work. And because especially with Capricorn energy, because you do have those ambitions and you do want to reach those places. So fucking talk about it, and it's going to help you understand more too. You getting that energy out of people, you're going to start being able to see how you can develop new blueprints, because things are transforming, because things are changing. You're going to need to get into that communicative aspect. You can't just start building things. You're going to have to build a more better information network, and for you to collect enough knowledge, collect enough information for you to make revised plans, for you to understand what's practical now and what's not practical now, and the reality that other people are creating for themselves, and how you can interact with them within that to your benefit. Let's see what's going on in the shadow. Let's see what's going on in the shadow for Cap. What are you being influenced by behind the scenes? What may be preventing you from embodying the light deck? King of Wands. Interesting. So either this is you and your desire and your and how you want to have run things, the type of imaginations that you have, or like a fire sign or a leader type person within your life that is maybe controlling how you express yourself. That is kind of dictating. They want things run a certain way, or they have an image that needs to be upheld, and it's preventing you from being diverse, from being versatile like you need to be, like you need to start being embraced. And you're trying to uphold an image, whether that is your image that you're trying to uphold or your desire, or somebody else's. You're gonna have to give death to your. That's what you're gonna have to give death to, man. And you're going to have to learn to be versatile and embrace that versatility, because holding on to that image is not going to get you too far. Holding on to that image is going to force Pluto to be like, all right, I'm gonna snatch that shit. And what you thought was gonna fall down, I'm gonna snatch that shit, and you ain't gonna have it anymore. And you're gonna know you can't have it anymore. And you're gonna feel all sour and bitter because you're holding on to it so dearly. But when you forget that it's not the image of what it looks like, it's the feeling. You you realize that it can take shape and form in different ways. That's why you have to be open to the versatility and the multiple different way things can overcome, can unfold. See what the oracle is saying for Capricorns this Scorpio season. Balance spirituality and practicality. Balance spirituality and practicality. So, just like what I was saying, how it's not all about, practicality and things that make sense. And this is what you're gonna realize when you start talking, when you start being more versatile. You're gonna start realizing how emotional people are, how emotional business is. Financial astrology follows the moon like solely, or like stock market astrology, they're following the moon, because emotion is controlling that world to such a high degree. So once you open yourself up to spirituality and who you are as a spirit, once you start jumping into your higher vessels and vehicles, and start broadening your awareness to the energetic exchanges that are going on, you, now you're starting to double your earth energy. Now you're starting to maximize what you are able to bring down into here, because you understand the level of where things fall down into. You understand where practicality comes from, or how people reach these things, or how emotion and connection drives practicality. So once you get to that point first, now you're in business. Just like how once you know how to make people want things, or how to elicit a specific emotion out of someone, all you need is an outlet for that emotion and an environment for that emotion to play out, and you're in fucking business. And that's what the moon is trying to tell you. So yeah, let's peep what's going on with Aquarius. What's going on with the Aquas this Scorpio season? You're square. Because you're fixated on the mind while Scorpio's fixated on their emotions. So what new desire are you going to have? And you're going to be fighting against it. Or at least you're going to try to, fucking Aquarius. But what new desires will you be having? What energy are you going to be trying to transmute? Especially with Uranus, your ruling planet, being opposite. Jesus Christ, Aquarius. Because you're already trying, or the energy. Let me just get the fucking cards out. Yeah, what new desires will you be coming into? What energy are you going to be trying to transmute? What is Aqua going to be trying to transmute? What is Aquarius going to try to give death to this Scorpio season? Goddamn, the Judgment card. Anyways, oh, that's crazy. So, what energy that's even talking about? That's funny because with this square, with Aqua, we have Saturn in Aqua too. So Saturn is in Aquarius, Jupiter's in Aquarius. So it's definitely heavy squares that are going on, causing frustration for Aquarius, is where y'all getting hit the most this Scorpio season, or y'all getting challenged the most and going through the most learning experiences. Boom. That's what that is. That's you. After all of these learning experiences, because you are the water bearer. You pour the water. You control the water. But what the fuck are you gonna do when niggas is holding on to that shit? When they're holding on to that shit, when it's frozen, how are you going to bear the water when it's frozen? When they are holding in, when they are being vulnerable, you can't go in disconnected. You can't go in with lack of interest, or not in an emotional aspect, or people aren't going to let in, or they're not going to be able to communicate on that level. You're going to start bringing out the vulnerable energy, because it's going to be probing. So you're going to have to step into more of your emotional aspect, and this is what you're going to have to transform. Understand that transformative aspect of yourself, because you're going to, especially with Aquarius, being fixated with the way that you think and communicate, holding on, being fixated on the way that you think and communicate. This Scorpio season is providing a learning experience for that, because that's what is practical right now. That energy is what we are all experiencing right now, the collective mind. That's what we're all kind of going through with Saturn and Jupiter being in Aquarius. Boundaries and limitations being placed around how we can think and how we communicate. And having to transmute with this Scorpio square is kind of making you realize your emotional state of being, or your real desires and how you generally feel, and as that go align with the structures that dictate how you can communicate and how you can think. Do you feel restricted by society and reality in terms of how you can think and communicate, or do you feel that you can overcome this, or that you can transmute that energy, or that you don't feel limited, you feel supported, that you have a ground under beneath you to help spring rock you, or that you're building stable foundations for you to continue to be stable into the thoughts that you have had in the ways that you want to communicate, and further expand into these things with Jupiter being there. But Scorpio is asking how you feel about that shit though. But how do you feel about that shit though? And so all of these things may seem progressive, or this seems like a good idea, or these seem like people that you should be dealing with, and this seems like something that you should be getting involved with. This seems like valuable information, but does this align with your emotional state of being? This is what Scorpio is really going to put the line on. And if you are not in line with these type of things, if you got lost in the logic of things and didn't give credence to your deepest emotions, Scorpio is going to make you aware of that shit, and it's going to make you transform that shit. It's going to put you in this. That's what the square is. Opposition is where it's like putting it in front of you, and it's like a, that one enemy or that one battle. But a square is like, it's throwing things at you. It's throwing things at you that's pushing you into a specific direction. It's a little kink that's making you have to act, or go with a handicap type deal. Not necessarily a handicap, but it's for sure a learning experience or an adjustment that you're going to have to make, a necessary adjustment. And that is, if this knowledge and this way of speaking in the associations you have gotten yourself around aren't authentic to how you feel in your real desires, then you're really going to go through that transformation where you're going to give death to these things. That means new social groups, new things. The things that you had thought to be true aren't true anymore. The way that you were speaking doesn't hit people anymore, or isn't as potent and powerful. It's like you have to come up with new ways of communicating if you don't give credence to this energy. So don't be afraid of transforming. Don't be afraid. It's about moving forward, no? So don't be afraid of letting go what you already have in order to move forward and gain more, and for you to move on to the new. That's what that card is saying. With Aquarius, check out what's going on in the shadow. What's going on in the shadow with Aqua? What unknown energies may be influencing you and prevent you from embodying the light energy this Scorpio season? What may prove as a distraction? What is behind the scenes? The Knight of Wands. It's interesting. Wanting to prove something, or wanting an image. Wanting to prove something, whether it be to a person or to yourself. Is probably what would be preventing you from allowing yourself to make the necessary transformations. You wanted to do things a certain way, or you had a vision, or you were on a mission to do something, but things had changed, and things have been thrown in your way, a handicap or a change in situation, or a challenge, a wall, a 90-degree angle, an opposite direction coming at you, but you're still trying to go straight, like you don't see a wall in front of you, because of the way you wanted things to go, because of the image that you have, because of this, the feeling, the mission that you were on, what you are trying to prove, would really hold you back. And it's funny because we're talking about Aquarius, but your opposite is Leo. So because of all, if you, with Aquarius, with all signs, if you don't rectify your opposite energy, then you're going to be flunked out within your own energy, and it's not going to be balanced, because you wouldn't be trying to prove specific images and getting lost into pride if you had balanced Leo energy, and you knew your self-worth, or you knew your identity and how you creatively express yourself, and how and what you enjoy. So you're not going to get too lost into pride, because you know yourself. You don't have to go and prove nothing. You know yourself. But when you're dealing with Aquarian energy, you're maybe getting so fixated on the mind and what is logical, and making sense out of things, and being progressive and coming up with new ideas, and making things work for the people around you, and making things practical for everybody that's around you, but neglecting the self, neglecting um, your internal world. Not saying Aquarius ain't selfish. Not saying that, or doesn't have that capacity. But it's neglecting the real you. Apart from the mind, apart from what is logical, and neglecting your soul, your emotions. So don't let what you're trying to prove make you lose sight of your internal world. That's more important than anything. Rectifying that energy is more important than anything, and it's going to prevent you from taking the shape and form that is actually going to make you feel the way that you want to feel. But you're just holding on to the one way about it. That's not the only way that you can get that energy. That you can go about it, but multiple different ways. But you would be limiting yourself. And that's what the Phoenix is trying to tell you. You can do this over again and again and again. This is the Phoenix, nigga. You can do this over and again and again and again, and you're holding on to one image. But there's so many different ways that feeling can manifest. Don't sell yourself short to it. Let's see what the Oracle be saying. Let's see what the Oracle's saying for Aqua. Goddamn. For this Scorpio season, what advice does the Moon Oracle give Aquarius? Goddamn, meditate and contemplate. All your niggas sit down and meditate, bro. All y'all niggas just meditate. That should just be the reading. Y'all niggas just meditate. It's funny. Meditate and contemplate. I'm telling you, with that trine to Pisces, we're really starting to feel that energy, especially with everything that's been going on. Jupiter's getting close to there too. With that Piscean energy, or because Neptune's been there. We are really having this boost or this gate in our spiritual capabilities. A lot of people are using it for some dumb shit because your power as a spirit is your faith, belief, and creativity. And if you're putting your faith, belief, and creativity into external things and not into yourself, if you don't believe in yourself, you don't have faith in yourself and your own wisdom and knowledge and manifestation ability, and you have to place your faith on something exterior, you're already flunked out. You're not in your power as a spirit. If you don't believe in yourself in certain things, but you believe in something that's being presented to you external, you're already flunked out. If you're using your creativity, but it's not going back and towards you, you're creating something for something you're already all flunked out. So definitely, meditating is going to make you aware as a spirit or to your energetic self. And this is what's going to help you understand. You're not going to be holding on to those desires and images once you have that level of awareness. Once you see what your true desires are, really peep into that type shit. You're going to find some shit that you didn't know. Go deeper than you've ever delved into yourself. If you give it that awareness and you open up to it, you're gonna have mad downloads. Especially with Uranus being opposite Scorpio, but it's in Taurus too, the other fixed sign. So it's definitely a mad learning experience because we're changing, rebelling against what's stable, and that's what's unpredictable. Stability and worth and value. That's what's going through change. And Scorpio season is bringing light to that and it's exposing the depths of that. So really meditate and focus on that, on those higher energetic realms. Because once you start perceiving on them, the man, you're gonna start really understanding where that desire came from, how that ties into your past and your life, and the things that you watch, the things that you eat, everything. Once you start tapping on to that level of awareness and the transformations that need to be had, and really start working with gods and goddesses, and really having that intuitive boost. Let's see what's going on with Pisces. What's going on with Pisces this Scorpio season? What new desires is Pisces having? It's finding themselves into. What energy are they trying to transmute and transform? What are they trying to give death to and deepen their connection to? Pisces. Like I've been saying, you got Neptune in there. It's powerful. Pisces may need a straitjacket right now, but with the type of energy that they're exposed to. Queen of Serpents. Interesting. The Queen of Serpents. So now this could be an earth sign in your life, maybe a Taurus who is coming in into your life and is showing you how to receive stability. They're kind of showing you how stability is kind of manifested, or how you can bring it into yourself, or once you come into mastery of what you want and your values, knowing who what you want and your values and shit like that, really making these things come into being, into reality. And with your imagination and creativity, Pisces, the realms of reality that you create is boundless and limitless. But being able to bring it down here, though, you don't want to talk about that now, don't you? Because that's a whole different story. But this person, whether it's a person that's coming into your life representing that energy, or it's you that needs to embody it, especially with Scorpio. Like I was saying, being opposite Uranus and Taurus. But anyways, yeah, whether it be internal that this Queen of Serpents energy is playing out in, or it's somebody who's playing out that archetype, you're starting to come into understand self-worth and the things that you have want, and starting to demand these things, and understanding how to bring them into your life, and how to ask for these things and put yourself in positions for these things to come into reality and density. You see, with Pisces, let me tell you, with your imaginative powers and your creativity and your ability to feel and tap into these emotions, you have the potential to really manifest anything within this world, anything that you can imagine. But you're going to have to know how to bring it down into density, how to give weight to it, because within that imaginative realm, you have to be lucid, you have to be fluid. But when you have the right blend of groundedness, when you have the right blend of physicality into it, you create this bridge where you are on earth but you're still within this lucid world, and you can kind of mitigate both. And this is what you're going to be learning how to do this Scorpio season, which is going to be hard, I bet. That sounds hard as shit, but it's a lesson that needs to be had. It's a lesson that needs to be done. You need to know your value. You need to know what you can output, and you need to know what you want to do and what you don't want to do, and what you're able to do, so that you know where to direct your creativity and imagination. Because once you get that out of the way, once you start adding those grounded aspects into your imagination and creativity, now your emotions are directed into a place. So they're coming in at a straight edge. You're giving them direction. So now you're going deep into the emotions of specific things, not just in general. So you're not feeling overwhelmed by a colossus mesh of energy. It's a specific energy of a self-created environment that you had given space for by incorporating those physical elements. And whether this is that external person that's showing you or putting you in these positions where it's making that possible, or this is you that is putting yourself in these positions. This is what needs to be going on Scorpio season. That's what you need to give your attention to, and that's the desire that you're going to have. Knowing what you want, getting that shit, done and settled with. That is going to happen this Scorpio season, and you understanding your value and what you have to output in order to get the type of stability and security that you need. You're going to come into full knowledge of that, Pisces. Are you really ready to deal with it? Are you ready, willing to do it? That's the real question. Are you ready and willing to step into that state of being, or ready to work into it? And you just have to apply a little groundedness to your imagination and creativity, and to your emotions. Connect them to actions. Put them into areas, ground them somehow, and only you really know how to do those type things. I can only give suggestions, but only your soul knows how to do that type of shit. But yeah, let's see what's going on in the shadow. What's going on in the shadow for Pisces? What is Pisces unaware of? Gosh, but yeah, what is Pisces unaware of? What might be playing behind the scenes that will prevent them from absorbing the light of or the energy of the light archetype this Scorpio season? Or may hold them back from their true potential this Scorpio season? Cheers, the moon. And this is the card for Pisces. Your own worst enemy. That's funny. Getting lost into that la la land. Especially with Neptune and Pisces. You see what they're doing? They encourage you. Be like, follow your dreams. Follow your dreams. Why would you tell that to a Pisces? I'm just playing. But a dead ass, that emotional world is very dangerous to navigate, especially for Pisces. Whereas, just like how the physical world is hard to navigate, and there's things that you can get attached to, aka food, drugs, alcohol, and stuff like that. Same thing with the emotional world. And a Pisces will fuck around and get addicted to a thought, because it stimulates specific feelings and emotions and shit like that, and really abuse and stay into those states of beings, and really create whole realms of reality around those things, whole scenarios where they make things possible so that they can feel those emotions, feeling the energy of a place and making whole types of presumptions of where it's coming from, instead of noticing it and giving credence to it and grounding it somehow, seeing where it's tingling in the body, or where getting tangible with it, embodying those aspects. It's all into a realm that nobody else can enter except for you, and that's going to be prevent you from really creating those intimate, deep connections, because nobody can get into that la la land. So the more you're adding into that realm of reality, that people can't relate to or connect to, it's going to create that distance. And now once you may utilize that stinger energy this Scorpio season, instead of allowing yourself to connect on a deeper level and create more intimacy. It'll be hard to do that, but if you ground your imagination and creativity, now it's existing in a realm that where you live with other people. Other people live on the earth with you, Pisces. They don't live up there, and all of those imaginative people, they're only playing out archetypes within you, or when you're just when you're feeling energy, and the energy that you're being hit with, these are pinpointing things that rest within inside of you. This is not the external world that you are going against. It's the external world that is influencing and bringing things up inside of you. So that's why you have to get tangible with this. That's why you have to ground these, because you can really get lost into that realm of reality and use this amazing wealth and abundance of imagination, creativity that you have, not into the physical. And I talk about this all the time. I don't even like calling it being delusional. But especially if something bad's about to happen, why would you worry about it and stay in a negative state of being, and then have that shit happen twice to you? Now you spent the whole time worrying, and then it goes and happens and shit like that. Your imagination, this is when being delusional really works for you, being like you going and asking out a girl. And it's funny because niggas may call it toxic and shit like that, but if it works for you, it works for you. Say you go and ask out a girl and she says no, and just being like oh, she's probably gay, something like that. Okay, now you're using your imagination and creativity to your benefit, as long as you don't hold it, too heavy and stuff like that, and create whole realms of reality into those lines. That's why you have to ground it. That's why you have to be tangible with these things. But I'm using that as an example to show you how that's perfectly fine if that helps you maintain your internal self-confidence and shit like that, or to not, get down on yourself, and that's the energy state of being that you need to be in. That's what you need to do. That's the type of mindset that needs to be had. I'm the type of nigga that'll talk shit while I'm losing, just because you never know, and it's a tactic within itself. You could create that realm of reality. What if it does happen? What if I do make a comeback? That type of shit. Why wouldn't I step into that? Yeah, you can call me delusional, but why wouldn't I direct that my creativity and imagination into that? So that's what you really need to learn, Pisces. And now, once you learn that, the physical world is yours. This realm of reality is yours, and we're waiting for you to catch up into that. Until then, but that's a huge gap, or that's a huge lesson that Pisces has to learn. So we'll be waiting for y'all niggas to be mastering that shit. But yeah, let's see what the Oracle is saying for Pisces. What advice the Oracle has to give to Pisces this Scorpio season. What energy is needed to be embodied. Believe in the impossible. That's interesting. Believe in the impossible. This is what I'm trying to tell you about your power, and where you really direct your belief, you're going to manifest, especially with the trine with the Sun in Scorpio and Neptune in Pluto. So you knowing what you want, understanding your self-worth and what you're ready, willing to do, getting tangible, and go and manifest and show us some shit, Pisces. Show us some shit. But yeah, that's the tarot reading for all 12 signs. Peace out, and whether this Scorpio season strong, and yeah, take care.